wondered how a massive warehouse can find and ship your specific order in, like, a matter of hours? Well, it's definitely not magic. It's this hidden logic, kind of like an invisible brain, and we're going to break down exactly how it works. Okay, let's start with a little puzzle. It's a puzzle that every single warehouse has to solve millions of times a day. Picture this. You've got 1,000 of the exact same items sitting on your shelves. An order comes in for just one. So, which one do you grab? The one closest to you? The one on top? The one that just showed up yesterday? Now, it might seem like a tiny decision, right? But if you get it wrong, it can set off a huge domino effect. Picking the wrong item can slow down your whole operation, it can lead to spoiled goods, and at the end of the day, it creates unhappy customers. The stakes are way higher than you'd think. So how do you make the perfect choice? Every single time, thousands of times a day? Well, you definitely don't leave it to guesswork. You use a smart, automated solution that's so much more than just a simple checklist. This is where something called a stock removal strategy comes into play. You can really think of it as the warehouse's brain. It applies a very specific, predefined set of rules to find the absolute best item for any order every time. I mean, this is the ultimate organizer, working 24/7 in the background. It turns what could be total, complete chaos into the symphony of efficiency. This is the logic that creates perfect, repeatable order out of a mess. Okay, so that's the theory, but let's see how this actually works in the real world. How does a system take a bunch of random information and bring order from chaos? So what you're seeing here is the before picture. This is what the system sees at first, just a jumble of the same product, scattered all over the place in different bins with different amounts and different arrival dates. You know, to a person, this is just a messy spreadsheet. But then we give the system a command, a rule. In this case, it's a simple two-part rule. First, sort everything by the oldest arrival date. Then, for any items that came in on the same day, sort those by the largest quantity available. And boom, just like that, with that one command, the system instantly turns that messy list into a perfect prioritized plan. It now has a crystal clear roadmap telling it exactly what to pick and in what order, starting with that old item from 2011. Chaos becomes a clear action plan in like milliseconds. All right, now that we've got that core idea down, sorting by rules, let's take a quick tour of some of the different strategies you can build from that. Each one is designed for a very specific business need. So the two most famous are FIFO and LIFO, and they're basically polar opposites. FIFO, or first in, first out, means you're always picking the oldest stuff first. Think of a grocery store pushing the older milk to the front. LIFO, last in, first out, is the reverse. You're picking the newest items first, kind of like taking a piece of lumber from the top of a stack. But sometimes, when an item arrived isn't what matters most, right? What really matters is its expiration date. This strategy tells the system to forget everything else and just prioritize picking the items that are going to expire the soonest. And for some businesses, this isn't just a nice to have, it's totally non-negotiable. We're talking pharmaceuticals, fresh food, cosmetics. This strategy prevents a ton of costly waste, and more importantly, it keeps customers safe. It is absolutely critical for any business dealing with perishable goods. Okay, but what about the really tricky problems? Warehouses aren't always that simple. The strategies can get even more sophisticated to solve some really complex logistical puzzles. This next one is all about keeping the warehouse tidy and efficient. Because, let's be honest, nobody wants dozens of half-empty boxes or pallets just cluttering up the aisles. This strategy is designed to clean up that mess automatically. So here's how it works. Let's say an order for 60 pieces comes in. The system first looks for any open pallets of that item. It finds one with 50 pieces and tells the picker, hey, empty this one out completely. Then, and only then, does it send the picker to a brand new full pallet to get the last 10 pieces. The goal is simple, always clear out the partials before you open a new box. Another really common approach is the fixed bin strategy. This is where every single product has its own dedicated home on a shelf. It's fantastic for organization, but what happens when two different pickers need the same popular product at the exact same time? Well, you get a traffic jam. And this is where the system gets really, really smart. You can program a rule just like this one, which basically checks if a bin is already busy. If it is, the system intelligently sends the second worker to a different bin that has the exact same product. It prevents bottlenecks before they even happen. It's like a digital air traffic controller for the warehouse floor. So we've seen the logic, we've seen the sorting, all the clever rules, but why does all this behind-the-scenes brainpower really matter in the real world? What's the bottom line? At the end of the day, it all comes down to this. A smart stock removal strategy has a massive business impact. It makes picking faster, it cuts down on product waste, and it makes your order accuracy go way, way up. That level of precision is pretty much impossible without these strategies. And of course, all of that leads to faster delivery times and, you guessed it, happier customers. It really is the engine of a modern supply chain. And just how customizable is all this? Well, get this. A modern system can sort stock using up to 30, that's 30, different data points. That means businesses can build these incredibly specific, powerful, and unique strategies that are tailored to their exact needs. The possibilities are almost endless. And that leaves us with one final, pretty interesting question to think about. Today, all these brilliant strategies are based on rules that humans defined. But as AI gets more and more integrated into our warehouses, will the next generation of strategies be designed by the machines themselves, learning and adapting in real time? I mean, what does a warehouse look like when the brain running it is truly alive?
All right, today we're going to peek behind the curtain